Hi, I'm Jen. Thank you so much for joining me. So, today I wanted to touch on unrequited love. So, unrequited love is a one sided love. It's a love where that is not reciprocated. So, it's a love where we might fall in love with somebody, but that love is not reciprocated. They might be emotionally unavailable, they might be physically unavailable, they might just choose not to love you back. But the point is, you're left there really pining, really longing for them, and finding it really difficult to move forward. And that kind of energy also keeps you in a place of lack around love, which is not a good position to be in. So I want to take you guys through a process that I've used myself, and I found it really useful for me personally, and of course I use it with my clients too. And ultimately, what we really want to be doing is we want to become our own source of love. We don't want to ever be in a position where we are entering into a relationship for somebody else to fill us up with that love that we really need to be giving ourselves first. So this particular process, it's very light, it's very gentle, and very loving, as you could probably imagine. But what we'll be doing is we'll be connecting with the parts of you, or at least one part of you, that is reaching out to that particular person or other people in the past to love them, because that part of you needs to be loved, but they need to be loved by you first. Okay, so if you'd like to join me, just stick around and we'll get started in just one moment. Okay, so this is, as I said, a theme that I'm personally very familiar with. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure that patterning is gone now, but ultimately there was a part of me that was feeling really unloved and looking to have that gap filled by somebody else. Now, unlike a lot of the processes I do, with the other processes, it will usually take us back to a child. And in this particular process, it may well take you back to a child, but don't be surprised if you get taken back to maybe a teenage version of yourself, or even a young adult version of yourself. So don't be fixed on it being a child. It could be at any stage in that range. So what I'm going to get you to do is I just want you to close your eyes for a moment and just take a few deep and relaxing breaths. Nice, natural, relaxing breaths. Good. And I want you to recall a time when you've been really in love with somebody, or really, really, really had strong feelings for somebody, and either they haven't known about it, or they've kept stringing you along, or they have not reciprocated, but you've been in a position where you have been really longing for them, really pining after them, can't stop thinking about them. And that's not been reciprocated. So I want you to take a moment and just think about that now. Good. Now, at any stage in this process, if you need to take a little bit more time, just pause the video and come back to us when you're ready. So I want you to notice when you dive into that memory, whereabouts in your body are you feeling that emotional charge? Okay, cool. It might be more than one place. Just if it is, just check and see where is it strongest for you. Cool. Okay, so now I'd like you to dive into that part of your body, and I want you to notice, how does it feel physically for you? What are the physical sensations in your body? Good. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's dive a little bit deeper. What are the emotions, what are the feelings sitting in that part of your body? And there might be things like longing, and there might even be a thread of desperation or neediness, almost like a, I need this. But just dive in a little bit deeper and see what else is sitting there. Good. And are there any feelings sitting underneath? Cool. Excellent. Now we're going to dive a little bit further and we're going to go into your subconscious now. I want you to really connect with that part of your body and immerse yourself in those feelings that are sitting there. And I want you to connect or ask to see the part of you that feels like this. And you'll notice them in that part of your body. As I said before, they could be a child, but they very well could be a teenager or an adult too. So just ask to see them now or to feel them now. Cool. Excellent. If you can't connect with them straight away, what I suggest you do is to imagine that you can connect with them. So you'd almost say to yourself, if I imagined that I could connect with this part of me, how old would they be? And that will actually help that bridge that for you. So just notice now, how old are they? And the exact age isn't relevant. It just helps you connect a little bit more to them. So approximately how old are they? Cool. And what's the scene? Are they at home? Are they at friends? Are they, what is the scene? Whereabouts are they? Cool. And I want you to take notice. How is this version of you? How are they actually feeling right now? Good. So they might be feeling things like longing or rejected, but just see, how are they actually feeling? Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want you to actually go into the scene where this part of you is. And I want you to connect with that part of you and let them know that I'm here, I see you, and I love you. And I'm here to help you feel really, really good again. Cool. And now just recalling how they were feeling a moment ago. Now what I want you to do is I want you to play that back to them. So for example, if they were feeling rejected, I want you to say to them something like, I know that you're feeling really rejected or alone, but I want you to know that I will never leave you alone again, and I will never ever reject you. I will always be here to love you. So whatever it is that they were feeling, play it back to them and give them the reassurance that they need. Just do that now. Good. Is there anything else that you need to replay to them? Cool. Okay. So, what I want you to do now is I want you to ask them, just say to them, I know that you're feeling really, however they're feeling, but you're really extremely important to me and I love you very, very much. And I want to know what else you have to share with me. What do you want to tell me? Good. And once they've come back with a little bit more information, we just replay that back to them. Like if they've said something like, I really, really just really want him to love me, then you could turn around and say something like, I know you really wanted him or her to love you, but I want you to know that I love you. I love you. You're very, very, very important to me, and I love you very much. If they've said something like, I don't know why they don't love me, or if they say something like, I don't understand why they don't love me or why they don't want me, then you would come back to them and say, look, what is happening here is not actually about you. It is about their stuff that's playing out. And I love you very, very much, and you are very much wanted. So again, give them that reassurance, but let them know that what's happening is not their fault. You can also let them know that what is happening right now isn't about them. It's not because they weren't enough in some way. It wasn't because they weren't pretty enough or they weren't skinny enough or they weren't funny enough or, whatever it is. But just let them know that it wasn't because of how they were or how they weren't or how they looked or how they didn't look. It's not actually about them. It is about the other person's choice and it is on them, but it's not about you. Good. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to ask them, do they have any beliefs that they've formed about themselves around this? Because there might be stuff like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or nobody wants me. So just ask them, what beliefs have they formed around this? Good. And once you've got some of those beliefs, once again, we'll actually play them back to them. So, for example, if they felt like nobody's ever going to want me, then you need to let them know that I know that you have a belief that no one's ever going to want you, but I want you to know that this is not true, that I want you very, very much, and I love you so much. I'm very, very proud of you, and you are so important to me. So just play that belief back to them and give them the reassurance that they need. Cool. Great. So I want you to ask if there are any other, with that particular belief, ask them if there are any patterns of behavior that are playing out, because you'll totally recognize these patterns. Just for example, If you had a belief that nobody's going to want me, then there's every chance that you would probably have a pattern where you have very, very low expectations on the type of people that you would be able to attract. Therefore, you would end up tolerating some pretty heinous kind of toxic relationships as a result. So yeah, so take those beliefs and then ask, what patterns of behavior have they formed as a result of that belief? Good. And once you've got those patterns, once again, just play them back to them. I know that you have you've formed a pattern of behavior where you don't expect anybody to love you, so you accept relationships and situations that are really, really toxic. I want you to know that you are wanted, you are loved, and you don't have to lower your standards anymore. It may even be that you tell them that it is okay for them, that they are worthy of expecting the very, very best and enjoying the very, very best in relationships. Good. So let's have a look at one more belief and then we'll do one more pattern as well. And you can, of course, pause the video and take more time in the space if you'd like to. So let's have a look to see if there are any more beliefs sitting in there. Good. Once you've got those beliefs, just play them back, give them the reassurance they need. Good. And now let's look at the patterns that were formed as a result of that last belief. What patterns have you formed? I'd formed a pattern where I continually reached out to men who were unavailable. So I'd always reach out to men who just simply were not able to or willing to love me back. Cool. Excellent. And once again, play that back to them, giving them the assurance that they need. Cool. Excellent. So, what I'd like you to do now is let's bring in some healing energy. Actually, it's just come into my mind to do this, so we'll actually just do something slightly different. What I want you to do is I want you to just notice, are there any cords between this version of you and another person that need to be cut? So I want you to notice, just ask to see or feel any cords to that other person that need to be removed. Good. And I want you to locate them now. And I want you to create a small violet fire, kind of like a bonfire. And that's where we're going to throw these cords. So we'll use Archangel Michael's large silver sword with the electric blue flames. And I want you to cut those cords away at the other person's end. And I want you to pull these cords out of your body. And I say pull them out because they're often really embedded. So I want you to pull those cords out of your body now. Just pull them right out and just throw them into the fire. Pull them out and throw them into the fire. Good. Well done. If you need more time, just take it now. I think what we'll do as well, a bit of a deviation here, but let's just call in the energy of unrequited love. And I want you to notice this energy, not all around you, but just kind of like a ball of energy kind of in front of you out to the side. And that energy is the energy of unrequited love. And I want you to notice if there are any cords between that energy and your body. And we'll do the same again. We'll just cut the cords off at the energy end, and then we'll pull those cords out of your body, because we don't want that energy sitting in your body. Otherwise, you're going to attract more unrequited love. We don't want that. So let's just pull those cords out and straight into the fire. Straight into the fire. Good. You're looking really good. I can see that shift. Cool. Okay, so what we'll do now is I want you to notice I'm actually giving you, I'm giving the other version of you a crystal. Now, it's like a clear quartz, so it's like a piece of glass, almost like a glass crystal. It's glowing blue with rainbow, a lot of rainbow coming all the way out of it. These colors are of the fifth dimension, and they have the light codes and geometry and activations of the fifth dimension in there. Okay, so let's take this crystal. Now, it can be any shape that you see or you want. That's totally fine. The energy still is the same. So let's pop that crystal into the same location where you were feeling this charge. So if you're feeling in your chest, put it in your chest. If you're feeling it in your tummy, put it in your tummy. So we'll pop it into the body of the other version of you that we've been working with. And I want you to notice I'm just putting a drop of gold around that chakra and around that area as well. And I want you to notice that gold really infusing that area. And then you'll also see the rainbow rays coming out from that part of the body. And just notice the rainbow rays just completely wrapping all around them, completely surrounding them in rainbow light, beautiful shimmering rainbow light. Wonderful. That's great. Okay, so let's also bring in some soft unconditional love. Let's just drop that unconditional love, and I want you to notice all around your energy field and that of the other version that you're working with, just seeing that pink just floating through the rainbow. And let's also just bring in some gold. So we've got that divinity in there too, and just notice that divinity just cascading through that rainbow energy field that's completely immersing your body in. Cool. Good. I want you to take a deep breath and just sort of notice how you're feeling now. Great. Now, I want you to take this other version of you, and I want you to shrink them down quite into the palm of your hand sort of size, still wrapped up in that beautiful rainbow light with the soft pink and the gold just cascading through. And I want you to pop them into your heart. Just pop them in there. And when you do, I want you to let them know that you will always be there for them. You will never abandon them. And that you will always, always love them. There's so much there, so much love there for them that they don't need to reach out to anybody else for love anymore. And pop them into your heart. You might notice that they may well go to sleep, which is really normal. They usually just completely relax because they don't need to be on high alert anymore, or, they don't need to do the jobs, run those patterns anymore, because they know that you're there to look after them and to love them. Cool. So just coming back to the now, and I want you to notice it's going to bring all your energy back into your body. Good, all the way down to your feet and your toes and your fingers. Good. So I just want you to notice how you're feeling right now. And if you were to, now don't dive in too deeply, just take a little peek, but if you were to have a tiny peek at the trigger you used before, the scenario that you used before, I want you to notice how you're feeling now compared to how you were feeling before, because you should definitely be noticing a reduction in the trigger. It shouldn't be anywhere near as strong for you as it was. Good. Well done. So this is something that you can do if you find, because there's probably going to be several versions of you that are reaching out for love. So you might need to do this for each one, but I wouldn't expect them more than 3 or 4 versions. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't expect there to be more than that. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are really pining after somebody, really reaching, really desperately wanting them to love you back, that's a big signal to you that you've got trapped trauma sitting in there, and this is the perfect process to actually help dissolve that. What it means is that going forward, that when you fall in love with somebody or when you enter into a relationship, you're going to be coming from really whole and filled up space, which is what you really want. So you're now the source of your love rather than needing it from somebody else. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much.